Hey guys, I'm going to try and do a bit of a voiceover here of one of my soaps that I'm making today. I haven't done this before, so bear with me. I'm going to be learning as I go. I'm making an orange patchouli soap today. I've just finished adding in my milk to my oils, and now I'm adding in my lye water solution. Taking my time adding in the lye water to avoid any splashes or spills. The lye water is very caustic, so it will definitely burn your skin if you're not careful. I wear long sleeves and gloves just to protect my skin. I have had the occasional lye burn when I've forgotten to wear the long sleeves. Nothing bad or drastic. I catch it fairly quickly and I'm able to rinse it off, but it's definitely not fun and could be much worse. So I try my best to remember those long sleeves and always the gloves just to make sure that we are protected. I'm mixing the batch here to emulsion. I want everything to be well blended together and incorporated. I'm not going quite to trace just because I'm going to separate this out into three separate amounts, so I don't need to go quite that far just yet. I'll do it when I add the colorants and fragrances because I know this is a well-behaving fragrance oil. You'll notice I'm switching from hand to hand here quite a bit. I find this particular stick blender, it's quite hard to push on the button. It gets sore on the fingers after a while. So I tend to move from one to the other. Haven't quite found the perfect stick blender just yet. I keep searching, but you want something with a long stick on it that's actually detaches, that's aerodynamic, I guess, or whatever, ergomatic, I can't remember, for your hands so that it's comfortable to hold on to, and that isn't very expensive. Stick blenders don't last very long with soap making, so the more expensive does not necessarily mean it will last any longer, so cheap is the way to go. Easy to replace and start again. Here I'm just separating everything out, so this white container here is going to be my neon green, and the red one is going to be my jade green, and then the big orange base here is going, or the pig base is going to be my orange. The soap we're making today is orange patchouli. The orange patchouli fragrance is from Windy Point, and it is a sweet orange with earthy patchouli, and then it's got notes of, I've forgotten, there's oak moss, violet, something else was in there, I've forgotten what it was, and it's quite a nice one. I'm not a super fan of orange patchouli, but this one's growing on me a little bit. I've just added in the fragrance oil, the orange red mica, and the kaolin clay. Kaolin clay I add into my bars. It adds a little bit of a nice slip to the bar. It glides nicely on your skin, as well as it adds a little bit of hardness to the bar too. So in my case, my bars are quite soft oils that I use in my bars, and then the goat's milk itself offers a softer bar. So what I do is I add the kaolin clay to offset that a little bit, and that way my bars are still a softer bar, but they're not disintegrating on you guys. So I'm just mixing this up to make sure everything is well incorporated. So those fragrance oils, kaolin clay, and the colorants are all mixed in and incorporated really well. And I'm also getting myself just to trace here, and definitely a light trace. I don't go any further than that. most of the time. Depends on the technique I'm using or pattern I'm trying to get, but for the most part, I'm going to a very light trace with my soaps. The orange patchouli fragrance is, as I said, not necessarily one of my favorite scents. I would have put it in my line had I not had so many customers asking me for patchouli. So finally I said, okay, I'll get one for you guys. And I went with the orange patchouli because I really like citrusy smells. And it worked out. Again, it's not my favorite scent, but it has grown on me. I really like the orange in it. And my customers loved it. I'm down to 1 bar after making my first batch of 4 and of 4 loaves. They just went so quickly that I have decided to add this one into my main line. So currently I carry my pomegranate marshmallow, which is our signature scent, and I also carry Dreamcatcher's Gentle Snowfall, Memphis's Wild Current, and now Orange Patchouli are going to be kind of my base line. I'll always have these guys in stock. So the goal is that in 2023 that I won't run out of these guys. I'm going to really try hard not to sell out and to always have them in stock for you guys. I'll still have lots of other soaps, colorants, variations, scents, all the good stuff. But I'm trying to build a few of them that I will just always have in stock. So, and the favorites that people really seem to be gravitating towards are the ones I'm shooting for. So here I'm just filling up my soap molds with the orange base here. I'm using all of it. I'm not saving anything back for the top of the soap for this one. I just want this orange to really be kind of throughout the soap and have the other colors dropping into it. And I'm just really cleaning out the pail here, trying to get all the soap from all the edges into my molds. One of the things you learn early on is that you don't want to leave this soap in the containers. It is just so difficult to clean if you do that. Plus, soap is expensive and you don't want to leave all this extra sitting in your containers when you can be using it in your soap. My soap molds there are just from Amazon. I know there's lots of other varieties out there, shapes and sizes and all kinds of good stuff. What I find for me though is I find these ones really easy to handle. They're easy to store. They fit perfectly on my little restaurant trays in my baking rack, and they fit really well in my soap cutter. So the moment I'm really enjoying them. I don't think I'll be switching anytime soon. And here is our neon green. It also has the orange patchouli fragrance oil in it and kaolin clay. And it is going to be a lovely green. I keep calling it a lime green because it's so pretty. I really like this one. I'm making this soap here today on a Sunday, December the 11th. I'll try and get it posted, this video, tomorrow if I can. And then on December 14th, Wednesday, at 10 a.m. is when I'll be cutting this soap and the pomegranate marshmallow soap I did prior to this one. So if you happen to be in town in Thorsby and you want to swing by at about 10 o'clock, feel free to come by and watch me cut the soaps. You get kind of firsthand see how the cut worked out and what all the shapes and patterns, and you can smell the bars and see what they look like. And have a little chat while you're there, and feel free if you want to do some shopping, you can do that too. But again, Wednesday at 10 a.m., just swing by the shop. I will make an attempt to video the cut as well for you guys, and post it on Facebook and Instagram and all that, so everybody has an opportunity to see how it turned out. Here you'll see I'm trying to drop the green in from fairly high up. I'm trying to get that color to kind of scooch down to the bottom of the soap so it's throughout the entire bar. But as you'll notice, I start chickening out here. And the reason I start chickening out here is because I've spilt already. You can't quite see it on the camera, but I have spilt already in between two of the loaves. This is totally common for me. I am the messiest soap maker there is. But what do you do? So it's fine. I did get some of the higher pour, so I got some down in there a little bit, and some will be a little bit higher up, and it's all fine. It's all gonna look great. I'm not worried about it at all. It's just one of those things that I often find with me is I can't quite figure out how to get that pour just right, and I'm often just missing the loaf every now and then. And then the next color we're going to do is that dark jade green. I'm a big fan of this color. Normally I'm a little bit more on the brighter color side, but I really like this green. And I was thinking about it. It's a jade green, and my daughter's name is Jade, and I should do a jade colored soap. And I'm going to have to reach out to Jade and find out what fragrances she likes the best and see if I can come up with some sort of a design and do a custom soap that's my Jade soap. I think that would be super cool for 2023. And this particular one, there's not a lot of soap in this bowl, but it is taking me just a little bit longer to incorporate. I'm noticing what looks like colorant not getting mixed in. I'm not sure that that's actually what's happening. I'm wondering if there's more of like a mineralized type effect going on here from the mica itself. But I keep stirring it just a little bit longer just to be sure it's fully incorporated. I don't want any accidents or whoopses of my lye not being fully mixed in or anything like that. I want to make sure that everything is combined so that it will become soap. If you're not already following me on Facebook and Instagram, I am on there for Forever Board Soapery. For the most part, I'm trying at the moment. I've been just doing kind of similar posts on both. But eventually I hope to break them out a little bit. So, you know, YouTube would be videos like this. And then, I don't know, TikTok would be quick little short ones. And Instagram would be more along the lines of pictures. Maybe some short videos. And Facebook, again, more along the pictures line. But we'll see where I land. Who knows? You might just keep getting them all everywhere. We'll see how it plays out. As I learn how to do this and I get better at it, it will determine what goes where and how and whatnot. But definitely Facebook and Instagram right now are the two that I've been really posting on. So feel free to keep a close eye on those and watch for new videos and pictures and sales. I'll definitely be posting them on there as well. So I'm tapping down the soap molds here, just trying to get rid of some of the air bubbles that might have formed within the soap. I don't generally have a problem with air bubbles, so I don't go too wild with it, but I do just give them a little tap, as well as to help level them out. Sometimes the soap gets a little bit harder and builds up a little higher on one side than the other, so I'm just trying to level it out a bit there so that I can get the last of this soap into the molds. Oh, you probably heard Bella there. She's making a run for it. Her imaginary somebody at the door. So this darker green, this jade green that I've put in here, my hope is that it's going to offer a really nice contrast to the orange and the green, especially that neon green. It worked out really well in the last batch. I did the same thing. The last batch wasn't a bright orange though. It was a very, almost just a light orange. So this time around I went with a darker orange because my line isn't really those natural light looking colors. It really is bright. And I wanted this one to follow suit, and I don't have any orange ones in my line right now, so thus the orange mica. So everything here is done. The soap's all been poured in. Everything looks great. I'm super happy with it. I think everything went well. You see my little happy dance there. Nothing went astray. Things look great. So here I have just snuck away for a few minutes and did all my dishes and allowed the soap to harden up a little bit. And while I was doing that, it stiffened up just enough that I was able to take this fork to it and add a little bit of texture to the soap. So I did the same kind of design on the original bar with the fork, and just adding those lines and a little bit of a peak in the middle of the soap. And it looked really great. It really seemed to suit that bar. I was really happy with it. So I'm just recreating that here again on this bar. You'll notice I'm doing a little bit of shaking. I find sometimes when I'm really trying to do kind of a little bit more intricate, focused work, that I get a little bit of the shakes in my hand. I don't know why. I don't have it any other time, but I like to blame it on my grandmother. She gets the shakes sometimes, so I say it's genetic. The store hours are generally Tuesday to Friday from 8:30 to 2:30, and then again Saturday 10 to 4. This is because I drive school bus. So I drive school bus, I come to the store, and then I go for my afternoon run on the bus as well. But on days like today, where I just really want to go in and make some soap, and I know that if I am in the mood to make soap, it will generally turn out much better and I'll be much happier with it than on a day that I don't want to make soap. So if I go into the shop and I happen to be making soap, I'll put the open sign on. Feel free to come in. So if it's a Sunday and you see the open sign on and the lights are on, come on in, come for a visit. I'm in there making soap, doing my thing. You're welcome to shop or just hang out for a bit. It will probably happen from time to time, just depending on how much soap making I get to do during the week. This week, I didn't happen to get to make any soap. I was too busy making lotions and conditioner bars and all the other things that are great, but don't give me quite that satisfaction as I enjoy from making soap itself. So I snuck in on my day off and I made a couple batches of soap. I made the pomegranate marshmallow, our signature scent. And then I made this guy, my orange patchouli. I'm really loving the greens here. I'm very curious to see what this is all going to look like when it's cut. I feel like there's more green here too than the last go around. So a brighter red, more green. Very curious to see how this bar comes out. And then here you'll see I kind of went back and I'm just doing this one side here again. The soap was just a little bit soft when I started, so I just wanted to sneak back in there and just deepen up those grooves a little bit, make them a little bit more defined. And then I'm done. These are my orange patchouli soaps. I'm super happy with them. I think they look great. I'm excited for the cut on Wednesday. Let me know what you think.